Across a large and colorful America, this journey will take you to 3 places with their own beauty and character: Virginia, Rhode Island, and Vermont. 3 destinations that are different in space, but share the rhythm of nature, culture, and American life. In Virginia, you will feel the breath of history mixed with the beautiful natural scenery. From the wide forests of the Blue Ridge Mountains, the Skyline Drive that goes through the clouds, to old cities like Williamsburg or Richmond, places that saw many important moments in the nation's history. Virginia is both old and modern, like a bridge that connects the past with the present. Leaving Virginia, you come to Rhode Island, the smallest state in the United States, but full of charm. Its beauty comes from blue beaches, peaceful harbors, and the old ocean mansions in Newport, signs of a golden time of American high society. Rhode Island has the gentle and elegant beauty of the ocean, but it is also full of life. And finally, there is Vermont, the land of bright red maple leaves and quiet villages between green mountains. This place is called the heart of New England, with clean air, deep forests, and peaceful farms. Whether it is spring with flowers, fall with bright colors, or winter with white snow, Vermont always gives a warm and romantic feeling. Three places with 3 colors create a journey full of emotions. Here, you not only see beautiful views, but also feel the spirit of America in each road, each breath, and each story told by the sky, the ocean waves, and the forest leaves. Virginia, the state in the southeast of the United States, often called by the proud name Old Dominion, has long become a special symbol in the history and culture of America. This is a land that is both old and modern, both connected with the first stories of the country and also full of the lively rhythm of today. From the first days when the Europeans came to Jamestown in 1607, Virginia became the place that keeps the steps of the beginning on the way to build the nation that is now one of the strongest in the world. And until today, this state still has a strong attraction, both because of its great past and because of its many kinds of nature and its culture that is very American. The geography of Virginia makes this place a special land. The state borders Maryland and the capital Washington, D.C. in the north, West Virginia and Kentucky in the west, Tennessee and North Carolina in the south, while the east stretches along the Atlantic Ocean and the Chesapeake Bay. This position gives Virginia a rich look. The great Appalachian Mountains, the fertile Shenandoah Valley, the green rolling hills of the Piedmont region, and also the white sand beaches and the rich ecosystem around Chesapeake Bay. The climate here is also different in each area, giving to people and visitors many experiences. The cold but poetic winter in the mountains, the cool summer in the valleys, or the warm and pleasant air in the coastal area. Coming to Virginia, the journey of discovery will take visitors through many famous places, each with its own attractive story. First of all, it must be said about Jamestown Settlement, the first English settlement in North America, built in 1607. Today, this place has become an outdoor living museum, showing again the life of the 17th century with old sailing ships, wooden forts, and people in traditional clothes, making visitors feel like going back in time to the age of exploring the New World. Not far from there is colonial Williamsburg, a historic city that has been rebuilt, where every street, house, court, or church still has the style of the old colony. The artists who act as craftsmen, soldiers, or nobles of the 18th century make a lively picture, helping visitors feel like they are inside a history movie. Leaving the colonial picture, the journey takes us to Monticello, the splendid home of Thomas Jefferson. Lying on the top of a green hill, Monticello is not only the house of one of the greatest presidents, but also an architectural masterpiece that UNESCO has recognized as a World Heritage Site. Every room and garden here shows the ideas of enlightenment and the love of art of Jefferson. By the Potomac River, Mount Vernon, the estate of George Washington, gives a feeling more simple and close. The old house, the wine cellar, the green gardens, and the daily life stories of Washington help visitors understand more about the man behind the name Father of the Nation. For those who love nature, Virginia is a true paradise. Shenandoah National Park, lying in the Appalachian Mountains, is a place that cannot be missed, with more than 200,000 acres of forest, waterfalls, and many kinds of wild animals. The Skyline Drive, almost 170 kilometers long, runs through the park and opens wonderful views, especially in autumn when the leaves change color and the whole space shines brightly. After that comes the Blue Ridge Parkway, the road called the most beautiful in America, going along the deep green mountains. Driving on this road of hundreds of kilometers, visitors can feel the greatness of nature in every turn, every ray of sunshine, and every mountain slope covered in mist. Different from the mountain space, Virginia Beach opens a lively world of the sea. This busy seaside city is famous for its endless sandy beach, gentle waves, and many water sports. In summer, the place is full of music festivals, parades, and seafood parties on the lively boardwalk. Meanwhile, the Chesapeake Bay has a quieter and more poetic beauty. This is the biggest bay in America, with a rich ecosystem, peaceful fishing villages, and crab and oyster feasts that have become a food symbol. If Virginia Beach brings liveliness, then Arlington National Cemetery is a quiet and thoughtful stop. Lying in the north of Virginia, Arlington National Cemetery is the resting place of hundreds of thousands of soldiers and many historic people, including President John F. Kennedy. The straight white graves stretching along the hillside create a solemn view that touches the heart. Visitors often stop to watch the guard change at the tomb of the unknown soldier, a sacred ceremony that raises deep respect. Besides historical heritage and man-made works, Virginia also has unique natural wonders like Natural Bridge, a limestone bridge more than 60 meters high, once considered one of the wonders of the Old World. George Washington once measured this place, and Thomas Jefferson bought it to protect it. Today, Natural Bridge still amazes visitors with its magnificent beauty given by nature. In addition, the Luray Cavern system is also an impressive destination with sparkling limestone columns, creating a mysterious world underground. Virginia also delights people with its very own special things. This is the place that nurtured Appalachian folk music, the origin of the enchanting bluegrass tunes. It is one of the fastest-growing wine-producing regions in America, with green vineyards stretching over the Piedmont Hills, producing bottles of Cabernet Franc and Viognier that captivate the heart. It is also the state with the tourism slogan, "Virginia is for lovers," a simple and romantic phrase that has become one of the most successful promotional messages in the history of American tourism. The people of Virginia help complete that picture. They are proud of their homeland, value history, but also look toward the future. The diversity of residents, from European, African, Asian to Latin Americans, makes life here lively and multicultural. But no matter where they come from, the people of Virginia still keep a polite, friendly manner and always welcome guests with sincere smiles. When leaving Virginia, every visitor often keeps a very special feeling in their heart, both as if they have touched the past and as if they are living in a present full of life. This is a land of stories, from the story of the founding of the nation, the stories of presidents, to the stories of forests, beaches, and even foods connected to memories. Virginia is not as noisy as New York, not as free-spirited as California, but it has a deep identity, a lasting attraction that is hard to fade. And this is what makes Virginia an essential destination on the journey to explore America. A place where you can find love, pride, and unforgettable experiences. Rhode Island, the smallest state in the 50 states of the United States of America, has a special attraction that makes anyone who visits never forget. With an area of only more than 3,100 square kilometers, Rhode Island is often called the nickname the Ocean State, a name that says everything. This place has more than 600 kilometers of coastline, long white sandy beaches, old seaside towns, and also a rich sea culture. American people often joke that Rhode Island is small, but it does not lack anything. And it is true, if Massachusetts is considered the home of learning, and New York is the financial center, then Rhode Island is the soul of freedom and the sea of New England. Located in the northeast of the United States, in the New England area, Rhode Island borders Massachusetts in the north and east, Connecticut in the west, and in the south, it opens to the vast Atlantic Ocean. Thanks to its strategic position, Rhode Island is only 1 hour by car from Boston and less than 3 hours from New York, becoming an ideal transit point between big centers. The capital, Providence, is the heart of culture, economy, and education of the state. Besides that, names like Newport, Warwick, Cranston, and Pawtucket also have special values, from industrial history to tourism and sea culture. An interesting thing is that, although it has a small area, Rhode Island has dozens of islands, large and small, in Narragansett Bay and in the Atlantic Ocean, making the landscape here always full of the life of the sea. When you come to Rhode Island, your journey will surely start from Providence, the capital and also the cultural heart of the state. This city is special with the young atmosphere of students from Brown University and the Rhode Island School of Design, RISD. People who love art cannot miss Waterfire, a unique event when dozens of fires are lit on the river, turning Providence into a magical place. Besides that, the Federal Hill neighborhood with traditional Italian restaurants, with the smell of pizza and pasta across the streets, is the place that keeps the special food spirit of the city. Leaving Providence, you will find a seaside gem called Newport. This place used to be the favorite summer spot of rich American families in the late 19th century, leaving behind beautiful mansions like the Breakers, Marble House, and Rosecliff, which are compared to small European palaces. But Newport is not only about luxury, it is also the sailing capital of the world, with exciting international boat races. The Cliff Walk, a walking path about 5 kilometers long, lets you see both the blue Atlantic Ocean and the old mansions at the same time, which is an unforgettable experience. If you want to find a peaceful place, go to Block Island, a small island offshore with natural and untouched scenery. The high Mohegan Bluffs cliffs, the soft white sand beaches, and the old lighthouses like Southeast Lighthouse make a picture that is amazingly beautiful. Block Island is a perfect place for people who want to escape the noise, to ride a bicycle around the island, to kayak in the clear water, or to watch birds at the bright sunsets. Narragansett, a seaside town famous for its beautiful beaches and a paradise for people who love waves, cannot be missed in the journey. Narragansett Town Beach and Scarborough Beach are always full of visitors swimming, surfing, or simply lying under the sun. The atmosphere here shows the full summer spirit of New England. Lively but still relaxing and friendly. For people who love history, Pawtucket will be a stop that cannot be missed. This is the place where the American Industrial Revolution began with Slater Mill, the first textile factory in the United States. Today, the site is kept as a museum, where you can clearly see the beginning of the industry that once changed the face of the country. From the cultural capital Providence, the luxury of Newport, the peaceful nature of Block Island, the strong waves in Narragansett, to the history in Pawtucket, each place in Rhode Island gives a different piece. Together, they make a full picture of this small but very rich state. It has the sea, history, art, lively life, and also peaceful nature. Rhode Island is small, but it has many interesting things. This state has the second highest population density in the United States, but the people are very close and love their home very much. The state has 21 islands, and Block Island and Aquidneck Island are the most famous. Rhode Island is also the home of big brands like Hasbro, the global toy company, and CVS Health, the leading pharmacy and retail company in the United States. Especially, the people of Rhode Island love the sea and seafood culture. Seaside festivals, boat races, and outdoor seafood parties have become a part of daily life. The culture of Rhode Island is a colorful picture. Providence is the place where the artist community is very active, with many galleries, museums, and theaters. Newport is the music center with the Newport Jazz Festival and the Newport Folk Festival, where legends like Miles Davis and Bob Dylan became famous. The people here, with different roots from Italy, Ireland, Portugal, France, and Jewish people, have made a multicultural society, but still very New England. They are friendly, open, close to the community, love the sea, love sports, and above all, are proud of their small but rich land. Rhode Island is small, humble, but strong and charming. This is the place where the values of freedom were born, where the marks of the revolution are kept, where art and creativity are supported, and also where visitors can have wonderful sea experiences. A trip to Rhode Island is not only about discovering a land, but also a journey to find the roots of the American spirit, the spirit of freedom, creativity, strength, and tolerance. If Massachusetts is the heart of learning, and New York is the financial center, then Rhode Island is the soul of freedom and the sea of New England, a small but shining gem that anyone who visits will always keep in their heart. Vermont, known as the Green Mountain State, is one of the most beautiful and charming places in the United States. It is located in the Northeast, among high mountains, clear lakes, and colorful maple forests. Vermont makes people feel like they are walking into a lively autumn painting, a peaceful countryside with a slow and honest way of life. Although it is small and has few people, Vermont has a strong identity. It is wild, elegant, classic, and also modern. This place is not only a destination for visitors, but also a symbol of a lifestyle close to nature, respectful to the environment and full of traditions. Vermont is located in the New England region, in the northeastern part of the United States. The state borders the province of Quebec in Canada to the north, New Hampshire to the east, Massachusetts to the south, and New York to the west. Most of the land is covered by forests, and the Green Mountains running from south to north are the soul of the state. The endless Green Mountains, winding rivers, and the large Lake Champlain stretching along the western border create a natural scene that is both majestic and gentle. The climate of Vermont has the typical features of the Northeast: cold and snowy winters, cool summers, colorful autumns with red and yellow maple leaves, and wet, lively springs. The clear change between the seasons makes Vermont known as the place where 4 seasons are like paintings, each with its own beauty. The maple forest is the symbol of the state, not only because of its magical beauty when the colors change, but also because the maple tree produces Vermont's most famous specialty: maple syrup. Lake Champlain is a must-see destination, stretching nearly 200 kilometers along the border between Vermont, New York, and Canada. The calm surface of the lake reflects the mountains, making it a perfect place for boating, watching the sunset, or camping by the shore. In the evenings, when the sun sets behind the Adirondack Mountains, the golden orange light covers the lake, one of the most beautiful sights in the Northeast of the United States. Around the lake lies the city of Burlington, the cultural center of Vermont, famous for the lively Church Street marketplace, small coffee shops, street artists, and a free, open atmosphere. This is also the hometown of the legendary ice cream brand Ben & Jerry's, where visitors can tour the factory and enjoy fresh ice cream right on the spot. Going deep into the center of the state, the Green Mountains appear as the soul of Vermont. The mountain range runs from north to south, covered with green forests all year round, making it an ideal place for those who love hiking, walking, or camping. In summer, the trails are shaded by maple trees, and in autumn, the forests turn into a sea of bright colors, red, yellow, and orange mixed like a giant carpet. In winter, snow covers the mountain slopes, turning the area into a skiing paradise of New England. Mount Mansfield, the highest mountain in the state, together with the town of Stowe below, is a popular destination all year round, both majestic and peaceful. Stowe is known as the winter paradise of the United States. When the snow season comes, the ski resorts are full of people, and small wooden houses give off warm smoke, creating a scene that is both romantic and dreamy. When autumn arrives, Stowe turns into a lively painting with bright red maple trees, attracting photographers and visitors from everywhere to admire the most beautiful autumn in the world. The small winding roads around the mountains, the rustic coffee shops, the handicraft stores, and the fresh air make Stowe an unforgettable stop. If Stowe shows a lively beauty, then Montpellier, the capital of the state, is a symbol of peace. As the smallest capital city in the United States, Montpelier impresses visitors with the shining golden dome of the Vermont State House, standing out among the green trees. The stone-paved streets, old bookstores, family restaurants, and outdoor concerts create a gentle rhythm of life that feels truly Vermont. Although small, Montpelier carries the spirit of freedom, independence, and warmth, just like the nature of the people who live here. Not far from there is Woodstock, the town known as the ancient gem of Vermont. The covered wooden bridges, small houses blanketed with golden leaves, and the clear stream flowing through the valley make Woodstock look like it came out of an old storybook. This place keeps the full spirit of old American countryside life, slow, peaceful, and warm. Visitors can visit organic farms, taste maple syrup, handmade cheese, or the local apple cider. Every autumn, Woodstock seems to shine brightly, making everyone who passes by stop for a moment just to breathe in the fresh air and admire the magical scenery. Leaving the mountains, Ketchy Gorge, known as the Grand Canyon of Vermont, is a spectacular natural wonder. The gorge, over 160 feet deep, was formed by the Ottauquechee River and offers a scene that is both majestic and poetic. From the bridge crossing the gorge, visitors can admire the winding river below, especially in autumn when the leaves change color brightly, like a vivid oil painting. Nearby is Quechee Village, where fine glassware and handicrafts are displayed, showing the skill and creativity of the local people. Another stop that reflects the true spirit of Vermont is Shelburne Farms, located by Lake Champlain, not far from Burlington. This farm, covering hundreds of hectares, is a symbol of the state's sustainable, green farming lifestyle. Visitors can walk through the meadows, visit the cow barns, taste handmade cheese, or simply enjoy the peaceful scenery by the lake. Everything here, from the scent of the grass to the sound of cowbells, gives a feeling of warmth, honesty, and closeness to nature. Finally, we cannot forget Lake Willoughby, a hidden gem lying between two steep cliffs in northeastern Vermont. The lake's crystal-clear surface reflects the forests and the sky above. In the late afternoon, the sunlight shines through the cliffs, turning the water golden and creating a scene so peaceful it touches the heart. This is a perfect place for swimming, boating, or simply sitting quietly, listening to the wind through the forest and feeling the pure breath of Vermont. What makes Vermont most lovable is probably its slow and peaceful way of life. Here, you can see small tree-lined roads, green fields stretching to the mountains, the sound of church bells ringing in the afternoon, and the golden sunset reflecting on Lake Champlain. Vermont is not noisy or flashy, but it has an irresistible charm because of its freshness, simplicity, and honesty. Vermont teaches people to appreciate the small things: an early morning mist on the mountaintop, the smell of freshly baked apple pie, a hot cup of coffee in a wooden house, or the warm yellow light on a snowy winter night. It is a place where nature, people, and time seem to become one, where every passing season leaves deep and gentle memories. For those who love nature, enjoy exploring, but still seek peace, Vermont is the perfect destination. It is not just a small state in the heart of America. Vermont is a symbol of a sustainable lifestyle, respect for the environment, and appreciation for the true values of life. In a world that is becoming faster and busier, Vermont feels like a gentle pause, a place where you can take a deep breath, listen to the wind through the trees, and feel the rare peace of a green land in the beautiful New England region. And when the journey ends, we suddenly see that Virginia, Rhode Island, and Vermont are not only three destinations on the map of the United States, they are three pieces of the soul and three different rhythms of the same large and colorful country. Virginia brings us back to the roots of history. Rhode Island comforts us with the ocean wind and the stories at the waves, and Vermont helps us become calm in nature and pure peace. Each place is a separate chapter in the book called America, where the beauty comes not only from the scenery, but also from the feelings, the people, and the moments that we can never forget